Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Fifth Doll by Charlie N. Holmberg, performed by Angela Daw. To Marsh, may you always seek truth and never doubt that God loves you, and so does your mom. Chapter 1. The chest was one of the finer things Matrona's mother owned. Its sides were sanded and smooth, edges rounded, lid inlaid with an embroidered satin pillow trimmed with yellowing lace. Though the chest had sat unmoved at the foot of her parents' bed all her life, Matrona could almost pretend it was a rescued treasure from a foreign land, owned by a lady who wore pearls, left behind when some great storybook monster kidnapped her from her balcony. Matrona blinked the fancy away and ran her hand along the lace before opening the lid, selecting the chest's cherished contents one by one, determining which of them she would make her own. It was not her mother who knelt beside her on the rag-quilted rug, but her dear friend Roxana, who taught the nursery school near the center of the village. Matrona's mother had not wanted to be in the room for the opening of the chest. "Too many memories," she had said, shaking her head and retiring to the front room to sit in the splintering wicker chair. "What's that?" Roxana asked, pushing up onto her knees for a better view of the chest's contents. Her round belly pressed into the corner of the chest, full with a child that would arrive any day now. Matrona lifted the stretch of white satin from atop the treasures. "Just extra fabric." She folded it and laid it beside her. Beneath the satin rested the kokoshnik from her mother's wedding, a crown of stiff fabric with a bronze sheen, dozens of small silver beads stitched into the tall looping coils. Folds of red satin fell from behind it, trimmed with tiny brown tassels. Matrona held the kokoshnik in both hands. It was heavier than it looked. She tried to picture her mother young, her hair as dark as Matrona's and elaborately braided, her cheeks pinched red, and this headdress pressed over her hairline. The image quickly warped to Matrona herself. "I'm getting married," she thought, tucking the ends of her hair behind each ear, the short bits that did not fit into her braid. Marriage was the one thing that would finally mark her as an adult to her parents, as age never had. The ceremony couldn't come soon enough. Her own father would perform it. There was no priest in the village, but her father was well versed in the good book, and under the eyes of God, that was authority enough. "Oh, try it on," Roxana urged, and when Matrona hesitated, her friend snatched the kokoshnik from her hands and pushed the headpiece over Matrona's forehead, arranging it to her liking before sitting back and examining her work. "Well?" Matrona asked. It fit well, at least. "The colors are perfect for you." Roxana's smile turned sly as she added, "Fyodor will think so too." Matrona chuckled and pulled off the kokoshnik, setting it carefully beside her. "I'm sure Fyodor doesn't care what color my headdress is." Her engagement to the butcher had been settled last week, and her parents couldn't be more thrilled. Matrona wasn't sure if the thrill came from Fyodor's family esteem or from the fact that at 26, Matrona was well past marrying age, as her mother often reminded her. Needless to say, it would be a short engagement. Roxana's slender fingers danced along the edge of the chest. "What else?" Matrona pulled free a twine-wrapped package and carefully loosed its knots, opening the thick paper to reveal her mother's wedding dress. It was a long, traditional gown of off-white, with bronze stitching trailing from collar to hem to match the headdress. The dress, too, was heavier than expected. Matrona stood and held the gown up to her shoulders, relieved to see it would fit, though she had always pictured herself marrying in a gown trimmed with black and red. Roxana stood as well. "Oh, it's so pretty. I wish my mama had kept hers." "She didn't?" Roxana shrugged. "Even she doesn't know what became of it. Try on the gown." "Not right now. I've chores yet to do."